If you're there, if you're watching, leave us a comment so I know who's actually watching. I just thought I'd come out into the Mini. I've got a problem setting the home address on the Mini. That I've set it once and it's set to the wrong location, and I'm struggling to find a way of setting it to the right location. So I just thought I'd come out in the car, turn the heater on. It's lovely and warm in here now. So while I'm in here, I thought I'd go online, just see if anyone was out there wanted to chat about anything. Batteries, solar, electric cars, the Mini, anything at all. So if you're there, leave us a message. If I can even remember how this all works. It's been such a long time since I have used live streaming on YouTube. So yeah, forgive me for not being very slick with this, but I'll jab the screen and try and see your messages. Up to 5 people now. So yeah, I haven't seen any messages yet. I don't know who you are, so please, Chris, thank you very much. For once in Norfolk, I'm not using 3G, so I'm on Wi-Fi at the house, so it should be working. But I just need some ideas. I need some help in getting this home address set. What's actually happened is I've set it to an address, a physical address for where I live, and yet Google, for some reason, or the map interface, thinks that's 2 miles up the road. So what I need to be able to do is find another address or be able to save my current location as a home address. So that's what I'm in the car trying to do. And somebody on Inside EVs, which I've just joined that forum, has suggested a couple of ways of doing it, so I'm trying it. Sorry, I just missed those messages. It's pretty dull here, Chris. It's bright in the northwest. I can basically see grey cloud and a little bit of sun shining through, like a godlike streak coming through. But solar wise, it's been really, really good today. We've probably had a constant 300, 400, 500 watt over and above the house load. So the battery's 100% full, hot water is currently charging, and the house is running on solar. So even though we haven't got masses of solar energy, it's doing the job. So I'm really, really pleased with that. I don't know about you guys out there that have got solar panels already, but it feels like winter's gone. It feels like winter's on the way out. That my need to charge overnight on cheap energy looks like it's becoming less and less. I've now had 3 days in a row where I've actually been able to charge, sorry, not charge at all from the grid. Into branding. I'm looking to put a large solar project in my house, 17 kilowatts. That sounds good. Combined with 2 Tesla batteries. Oh, and that message is gone. Send that one again so I can read the rest of that message. This app here with live streaming, it shows the message and then it fades away, and I can't necessarily see them again. I'll need to go via G99 application. Did you have to consider G99 in your system? I believe I did for the second one. Yeah, I had a first array in that was, cheers for that again. I had the initial G whatever application for the 3.6 kilowatt fit tariff system that I put in, and then when we added a second array, I believe the installer had to apply for the next level up, which gave us approval for, oh, there we go, it looks like I went offline and online. The application that you send in doesn't come back telling you your max capability. It comes back saying yes or no to what you've asked for. So I don't know whether if I ask for 9 kilowatts, whether I'll get it, because one day I'd like even more power, more solar panels, or maybe even a wind turbine. So yeah, I wonder how much I can have. I do have a friend over in Durham. I don't know if he's watching these videos. He's got something like 11 or 12 kilowatts of solar panels, but he's got a limit on what he can have active at once in case it exports to the grid. So he's actually got some intelligence there somehow that if it starts generating more than 10 or 11 kilowatts, it turns one array off and then carries on. So you can do all sorts of things with lots and lots of power. Yeah, my Octopus referral code will be available for I guess forever while I'm with Octopus. So feel free to use that. I'm extremely grateful and surprised for how many people have been using my referral code. So yeah, I've pumped a few videos out extolling the benefits of Octopus because I've really enjoyed it. I was almost a skeptic to start with, wasn't I? Thinking Bulb was brilliant, Bulb was great, the price was cheaper than the big six, it was really good. But yeah, Octopus, it's even better. I really like it. So yeah, move over, Andy, and yeah, feel free to use my referral code. Much appreciated. And of course, you get the 50 quid as well, so really good. Yes, I did get a bill from Octopus. I had to chase them, Chris. I chased them on Twitter, and I think they replied the next day, and then they said there was a couple of bills missing, a couple of days worth of data, so they were waiting for the data to come through from the smart meter to them so they could bill me for it. I don't know whether they ever got that data. It doesn't really make sense to me that they would. Greetings from Caister, thank you very much. I think it was a bit crazy that they wasted time even waiting for it. They should just estimate and or zeroize it and not worry about it. It's not worth their admin time for a couple of kilowatt hours. I did notice yesterday, is it yesterday the 10th, whatever day the 10th is, I haven't got any data showing for the 10th of February. So it looks like I've got some data missing now. So the bills, I really wish the bills on Octopus would be at the month end. They would really suit my spreadsheet and my data, but they seem quite random as to when they do bill me. So I've got a couple of weeks here and then a month there, and it's a bit sporadic. But thankfully, because of the API links into the data, that Go Agile app I use shows me the monthly data. So I really, really like that. So someone's over in Caister. Whoever's that was in Caister, do you have experience of using the Tesco Pod Point chargers over there? Far for a top up or for a shop? I should be going more locally. Ah, fantastic, and free as well, are they? We're thinking that it's a perfect location in Caister that we can go for a shop over at Tesco's and also walk Cracker as well. So while we're out for a walk, charge the car up for an hour. Fantastic. Good old Tesco's installing Pod Point. That's the way it should be. I guess that sort of location will be quite popular if it is accessible to the coast. You can charge up and have a walk on the beach at the same time. I'm just having a quick look at this again to see whether I can. Right, save position. I'm looking for save position as contact. Save contact in the vehicle. Well, it looks like there is going to be a way of me setting this location, but I can't look at the screen here and look at that at the same time. I'm struggling, and I might have just missed a message there. So on your ohm, what does the ohm charger actually do then? What sort of smart capabilities does that give you? Is it 3 kilowatt? Is it 7 kilowatt? What sort of smart things does it do? I know you can do time charging on it, but why is this ohm charger quite good? I should have looked at EV Nick's video. I think he's explained it, hasn't he? But I've got no experience of the charger. Yeah, we had loads of snow here. Snow for nearly a week. Is a week tomorrow. We've had snow on the ground, but no more than an inch and a half each night. So it has melted and it hasn't impacted our solar capability. Links with Agile, 7 kilowatt. Oh, that does sound pretty good. So apart from the solar stuff, what does Ohm do or the Zappy do that's different between the two if you take away all the solar integration of the Zappy? Because Ohm seems quite popular, so I'm guessing it's got an app and it's got data visibility, that sort of thing. I really dislike this BMW. And my Wi-Fi signal seems to be dropping in and out every now and then. I hope that's not interrupting this feed too much. Oh, right, okay, so it's the basic functionality. I just, can you believe, I'm not sure if I should be putting this out live in that I just had a conversation with Give Energy on the phone, Give Energy support. I'm doing a little bit of testing on a new feature with them. and they were telling me about their agile integration, where at the moment it's Octopus that's doing the control of the charging for the battery, but they're going to be doing it themselves. So yeah, everything seems to be really good with that accessibility to the Octopus tariff. It's great to see so many things using it. Yeah, they definitely are getting better, aren't they? Apart from the performance of the My Energy one, I'm so frustrated with that every time I go to look at it, I just get the spinning circle, and it makes it unusable, doesn't it? When you just don't want to go to it because you know it's not going to traffic, and I would say network traffic, but this is the internet. So unless the internet's clogged, we're talking local stuff at their end. It is frustrating when so many others can get it right. Greetings from Poole. Hello, Barry. I've got a friend down your way. God, what's the name of the place he lives at? Corfe Mullen. That's quite close to Poole, isn't it? I've only been down there once. Lovely part of the world. I'm doing some testing at the moment with smart devices, smart plugs and smart bulbs, and somebody on YouTube was telling me that I ought to look into the IFTTT, the if then do that or whatever it is, to see whether I can integrate things. And yeah, I mean, it'd be fantastic, but so far I haven't been able to find a basic development platform and how to link in and access to. Like, there should be a way of doing it, and if I could find that, I would absolutely love to. I'd love to connect to Octopus directly and try to work out, if there was a way to have a portable heater on a plug and have that linked into Octopus, that the moment it goes to 0 or below, it turns the heater on. That would be fantastic to automate those sort of things. But if it takes too much programming, if it's too geeky, I guess I'll leave it alone. That my programming days, I used to love it. I used to really enjoy assembler code and COBOL and ALGOL and all sorts of languages, but I haven't got into PC programming at all. It seems too messy, not as structured. Yeah, I'd love to do something with that, especially with the Octopus stuff. 18 people. Wow, that's quite a lot. I was only expecting one or two at least. Thank you for joining us. Leave a comment below as to who you are, and say hello, please. It'd be lovely to know who's there. So mostly it sounds like solar enthusiasts are online. Anyone here not got solar? Oh, I cannot find this setting that I'm looking for, so I think I'll give up on that. Tell you what, it's really snug and warm in this Mini. I'd say it's almost, if it had a heated steering wheel, it'd be warmer than the house, but I've got the heated seats on. It's absolutely lovely in here. So I'm sat in shorts and t-shirt with a scarf. Quite daft, but it's extremely warm. Which was quite funny this morning, actually. I was thinking while I was looking through my data that I haven't charged the Mini. I haven't used the Mini for 20 days. And I thought, well, I wonder what the 12-volt battery's like after having the Kona Electric, which, let's just say, wasn't as reliable with the 12-volt battery. I'm a little bit concerned about the Mini and whether it'll be okay. The petrol Mini, which is just over there, I've put a manual charger on it and charged the battery twice because it's given us warnings over this lockdown period. But the electric Mini hasn't said anything. It just seems to be looking after it. But today I thought I'd just give it a precondition. Just pressed precondition it for no particular reason, just to warm the car up, because of course that's going to invoke the high voltage battery and I presume trickle the 12 volt at the same time. So yeah, the car's sat here with 79% battery at the moment. Really 79%. That means I've used 2 to 3% preconditioning it this morning and sat here with the heater on and the seats on. So yeah, I'm using more energy heating this car than I. Have you had my injection? No, I haven't. Do you know, when COVID wise, I was apprehensive about the injections to start with. I was thinking I'll let everyone else have it, and I'll not go in when they call you up. Whoops. Just got the sun coming through. Goodness gracious. More kilowatts. I need to go and turn something on. I was apprehensive, and I was sort of thinking that I would not really go in and leave it for other people, and just wait to see what happens. But now it's getting to the point where I probably will be called up in the next few weeks, I guess, or next month at least. I probably will go in for it. But which one will it be, and which one's best? And do you follow any of this media stuff about does one really protect you, or does it not? Or I don't know. I guess you just have to go with the flow, and it's not nice. It's not nice. I wouldn't want to say being frightened of this COVID stuff, but being so apprehensive of it that it's restrictive. It would be nice to have a little bit more confidence that you're not going to catch this deadly disease. So yeah, as soon as they do tell us that we can. Oh wow! I thought I had a crack on my windscreen then. It's just the light. It's the light reflecting off the windscreen wiper. That had me going for a moment. I don't know what they're up to on the COVID stuff. Are they into the 50s? I'm 50. Oh God, what am I? 53, 54, something like that. So I think there's a band at the 55s. So they're working on the 55s to 60s at the moment, I think, if I've read it right. We're going quite well here, actually. I wouldn't call this a suburb. We're in a village 10 miles outside of Norwich, and we're green on the map with the UK at the moment. It's looking quite good. The numbers are coming down. The cases are coming down. So that's nice to know that it's getting back to case levels in data-wise that I think we had around the September-October time. So before kids went back, and then we had that spike come up. So the volumes locally here of cases are going down really, really well. So I think it's quite an aged population here, so probably a lot of them are getting inoculated, and eventually I guess it goes through the care homes, and once all the staff, it's going quite well COVID wise. I will be so grateful though when lockdown's over. Just had enough of it, absolutely had enough. It's boredom setting in. I mean, I should be doing more videos to keep myself occupied, but it would just be nice to get out in the car and drive. That's what I really, really miss. So anyone got any burning questions about batteries? The new feature I'm testing on Give Energy, yeah, I will tell you about that. Just briefly though, because I haven't really spent any time looking at it. I think I mentioned in one of my videos a while ago, there's a new granularity feature coming with the Give Energy battery, where at the moment it only refreshes every 5 minutes, so you see a glimpse of what was happening at that instant every 5 minutes, and the data is only every 5 minutes as well in the charts. Where at the moment I'm seeing it in seconds. I'm not going to say how many seconds, but they've just told me that they are going to release, once this testing is complete and they're happy with it, they're going to release it to existing customers, and it will be more around the minute mark on a refresh. Now that will be fantastic, because waiting 5 minutes for an update is terrible, but a minute or anything under is pretty good. So yeah, I'm very happy to be testing that for Give Energy. As soon as I've finished here, I'll be indoors having a look at the graph. But at the moment, where the graph points for Give Energy are every 5 minutes, it's that instantaneous moment where what they're going to be is looking at all of the data points within the minute, and then they'll be showing you, I don't know whether it's an average or there'll be a calculation, so the data they present will be a lot more accurate for that period, whether it be a minute or two or whatever it will be on the graph. So it's going to be a much more accurate graph, and at the moment I'm seeing spikes in such detail. It's wonderful. Problem is, if I watch too long, I'm constantly swiping the screen to get a refresh to see what's going on. So apparently they're going to be working on that as well, an automatic refresh on the portal. So lots of interesting things coming with Give Energy. I had a really good chat with them. I guess they watch my videos and see that I've been a little bit negative about them in some respects, and that's because I haven't seen what's coming. And yeah, they've responded, haven't they? So well done, Give Energy. And I'm really grateful that they're in contact with me and sharing information with me. So it is looking positive, and I really hope they do deliver on that, including this new app. I wish I had some better news for you. I'm still waiting. Probably going to get a quote for a Stiebel Eltron system, and what I'm interested in is the specifications for it, to not just know the price for how much it's going to cost to change, but I want to know how it works. You hear of some people online that are, during these winter days, consuming 2-3 kilowatts continuously on their air source heat pump. Right, I don't want a system like that. I want a system like Rowley's. So if Rowley watches this, thanks for the information, Rowley. He's got an air source heat pump that effectively ticks over around 500, 600, 700 watts throughout the day. That's the sort of level system that I would like. So that would be 12 to 15 kilowatt hours of energy throughout a day, plus heating your hot water as well on top. That sounds plausible to me, but if it's double, treble, quadruple that sort of value, it's going to make me really think about the energy cost of an air source heat pump. And yes, it's worth changing for the climate issue. Yes, it's worth changing to get rid of oil so I don't have this stinky tank outside and I don't have to organise refilling of an oil tank, etc. But cost-wise, oil is really, really cheap at the moment, and it's a very effective heating system. And it's instant heat as well. So do I want to move away from that if it's going to cost more with an air source heat pump? So that's what I'm researching at the moment. I can't wait for this quote to come in so I can study it and talk to the supplier about it. Who am I using? I'm using someone called Heat Different, and yeah, the name is very similar, isn't it, to Power Different, who did the solar installation for me. And it's because they're they're colleagues and sister brother sort of companies. They're separate, but they work together, and one just does energy and solar panels, etc., and batteries, and the other's doing the heating side of things, the plumbing side of things. Perhaps one was a plumber and one was a sparky. I'm not quite sure of that, but great people. It's really nice to see the difference. Again, when I had the guy around from Heat Different, it's so nice to talk to an enthusiast about renewable energy and heat pumps, not just someone that wants to turn up and give you a quote and sell you stuff, and you don't get the confidence as to whether they're being genuine. You know, if they can't provide a breakdown of how much is going into the installation process versus the actual equipment bands for a heat pump installation, it does make you wonder how much they're actually making on the deal and whether it's a fair price to you. So yeah, I'm waiting for all of that, and so far so good. Heat Different look the genuine article, and that's why I've been very happy to get them around for a quote. I also can't wait for my pension to come in. As soon as I get my pension, as soon as I'm 55, think of all that free money I'll have, and more solar panels, more renewable energy, a battery system, because I don't obviously own the battery that I've got. In my retirement, I think renewable energy, solar panels, heat pumps, wind turbines, that will keep me very happy in my old age, and it'll keep my mind active as well with all of the data. So that and free energy for the car, free energy for the house, free heating. I think it's a really good thing to do in retirement. So I can't wait to have free money to spend more on panels. But I've just got to work out what the optimum way of getting more energy is. Because that's been my plan all along. My plan all along has been to generate my own energy and use that for all of my energy needs. But if I go air source heat pump, my requirements in winter will be going up a lot, whereas my power generation is going down. So I've got to work balance out. It might just be that I'll be in such credit with someone like Octopus for the amount I export during the summer that that pays for the winter. I'm not quite sure how it's all going to work out, but I don't mind if I mean, at the moment, I think last year I exported 2.6 megawatts. 2.6 megawatts. That's as much as my 2.4 kilowatts of solar panels, the second array. That's as much as that produced in the whole year, and that's what I exported. So it's a huge amount of energy that I have free. So 2.6 megawatts times 5 pence minimum for what I can get at the moment. But if I went on the Octopus outgoing tariff and exported a lot of that at peak times between 4 and 6 o'clock at night, I wonder what sort of income I could get for that and whether that would pay for my heating in winter. So lots of thoughts going on in my mind. lots of plans, but just can't get out and do it at the moment. I want to get out and talk to a wind turbine installer as well, but with lockdown, I just can't do all of those things. I thought just getting the air source heat pump quote in was enough, but yeah, I can't wait to get out and drive and go and visit these places and turn these plans and thoughts into reality. Well, I haven't seen any comments. Have I turned comments off for ages, or have you guys not been commenting? Are you on outgoing? No, Chris, I'm not. Did I not see any of these messages? You can't get outgoing and fit. It's one or the other, Bob. I believe you can. I was told that with a fit payment, if you want to go on outgoing, then you have to declare that you're not going to receive the export part, the estimated export part of the fit, and then they take that off. So you still get paid for generation, but you don't get paid for export, and then you can have an export connection. Now, I don't know if that's true because I haven't applied for it yet, but that's what I heard. I heard you could have both, but you just can't have the export part of the fit. I've yet to find out if that's true or not, but if it is, that'd be wonderful. I'll get paid for some generation, but I'm going to have an inverter that keeps to the limits of that fit application, the 3.6 kilowatts, and then have a secondary array that I can use for other things and not go through the fit. If not, I might give up the fit payments and just have the export, because yes, the money's nice, but if I'm already exporting 2.6 megawatts, that should compensate for losing the fit if I did want to go that way and then do export. What I need though is an automatic way of exporting. I don't want to be doing it for year on year manually every single day, exporting energy at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I do need an automated way of doing it. And it looks like the products are on the way. It looks like there are some development companies that are going to be doing this. So again, I don't know if that's true, Bob, or not, that I can't have the fit and the outgoing. I've been led to believe that you can. Sorry, I missed all these messages and I can scroll through, and you're not convinced unless the house is very well insulated as a passive house. Where are you going to put more solar panels? Your roof looks pretty full. Yeah, you see, I haven't really mentioned that, Bob. I haven't mentioned what I was doing. So let me mention a couple of things. Air source heat pump. The guy that came round, I wish I could remember his name. I want to say Craig, but it might not be. He knew the systems and he knew houses with air source heat pumps so well. He walked away and gave me an estimate saying, I think you're talking about energy loss in your house of between 6 and 8 kilowatt hours. So it's looking at a system with that sort of capacity level. So it's quite a well insulated house. I do notice, for example, when we go to bed, if the house is at 18 degrees, the heating goes off, and in the morning, on a day like today where it's -2, -3 outside, it's about 15 in the morning. So it's dropped 3 degrees in about 9 to 10 hours. It's dropped those 3 degrees. On a normal day where it's more 4, 5 plus C degrees, the house only drops 2 degrees. So it is a very thermally efficient house. It does work quite well. There aren't many drafts. There's a couple of plug sockets where some draft comes in, and some keyholes in the doors where some drafts come in. But you do need some fresh air into the house. Our worst room is the kitchen. We have a large window area, and in summer it acts as a radiator with the sun, but in winter it's just freezing cold, and it's not as well insulated, I guess, even though it's good double glazing, as a wall. So that room can get quite cold. And that's one of the things I'm looking for with the air source heat pump. I want a configurable system. I don't want one where it's just all of the radiators and it's powering and pumping the hot water across it all. I want to be able to manage them, to understand that my kitchen is harder to heat because there's more heat loss in that room. So I don't want to put less energy in there and more energy into the rooms where you're sat down, in the lounge, in your hallway, in your bedroom, etc. So the heating pipes off, turn half of the connections off, then we're pumping less water around, less hot water around, so it should take a lot less energy to heat. So that's what I'm hoping for. We live here in a 4-bedroom house, but there's only 2.5 of us here, 2 into the future once our daughter becomes independent. So we should just have a few rooms that we need to keep warm, but some rooms where we don't mind them being turned right down. So yeah, I'm looking for a flexible system. But panels as well, Bob. You're asking about my panels. What am I planning? Well, what I'll do is I'll ask the question of Christian at Power Different. Where can I put some more panels? I've got my garage roof where I can put some, but I think 3 panels on there. But that's not enough. I might go for a solar tracker in the garden. I might just go for a fixed stand in the garden. I am looking at putting a shed in the garden next year. Or was it this year? This year, next year, putting a shed in, and that'll probably have enough roof space for 3-4 panels. I'm also so many projects that I'm thinking about doing. We're thinking about changing the house around as well and putting an oak frame cart garage outside where the Mini is now. And if we do that, that could have some panels on. But one of the things that I was thinking about was there'll come a point in time, I think, where the cost of implementing solar panels in a new array by buying another inverter and adding the framework and the installation for it, whether it's a ground mounted, a stand mounted system, or on another roof, it might be worth putting scaffolding up and taking all of the panels off that we've only had on there 2 years and putting new ones on, and just redoing it. Because one, I could sell what's there as a second-hand system and get a little bit of money back for it. But I noticed the price of JA Solar 460 watt panels at the moment. They're not much more than the price I paid for 280 watt panels. So if I took them all off and put 460s on, I'd have between 9 and 10 kilowatts on the roof, especially if I put some on the garage as well. So I could probably get maybe 11 and a half kilowatts of power on the roof. So all I'd be doing is changing inverter as well. So it does make me wonder, because the rails, the framework is already on there, that side of the work's already been done. I wonder whether it would be just as cost effective to just change them, take them all off. I mean, it seems crazy, I've only had them a couple of years, but will there be a point in time, and when will that be, that it's worth just taking them off and changing them again? Now, I know some people would say that's terrible, because obviously you don't want them going to landfill, but they're perfectly good solar panels. Someone's going to want to buy them as a cheap system. So I think that's the plan. The plan is to look at how much it will cost to add to the system versus how much it will cost so that I can do some testing to see what the difference is on these higher rated panels, especially in wintertime. And it must be a thought for lots of people that are on the fit schemes with older sets of solar panels. There'll come a point in time where their fit ends and the panels are old and they want to replace them. So I think there's a lot of renewal business where they will have exceeded their life, because they're probably only 200, 240, 250 watt panels that they've got. So I think there'll be a lot more people that do want to change them. So yeah, a lot longer than me at 2 years. It just seems absolutely crazy thinking about it. But if you're going to have to spend, I don't know, let's say for arguments, £3,500 implementing a small array of 1 to 2 kilowatts of extra power, is it worth, how much more would it be worth to take the existing panels off and replace them with larger ones? And yeah, all options. I'll look at all options of getting more power. I've just got to be cautious not to get too carried away, because if I'm already exporting 2.6 megawatt hours, then I will be exporting in the summer a massive amount more if I install a lot more power. But if I can excess power pay into export, then it's a great retirement thing, isn't it? It's an income. So spending spare cash that's sat in the bank doing absolutely nothing, making no money, is better spent on new panels on the roof that actually earn an income from exporting. So lots of thoughts. Sorry, missed you there. I pressed the wrong button and went offline, I think. If you're exporting 2.6 megawatts, why would you want more panels? Because that's summer. Most of that's in the summer. What you want more power for are two things. One, you want the instantaneous power so you can do more things whenever you want without using any grid energy, so more power in the one instance. But those summer months of June through September, it's only 3-4 months. So increasing what you produce in November, December, January, February, that's where I'm looking at topping up our ideal system. So every time we make those winter, autumn months better, we're making the export worse in the summer because we don't need the energy. But my thought also is in the summer I would like to have air conditioning in the house, so I can use more energy in the summer for that. I would like to have an EV for, just checking my lights are on or off on the car. I am looking at whether we get an EV for Susan as well. She's in a petrol Mini and she loves her car. It's a girl's emotional thing that she loves her car because it's her personal thing. It's nothing to do with what engine's in it or whether it's electric or anything like that. So somehow I've got to wrench this almost family member from her and get her in an electric Mini like I am, or let her have this one. So yeah, more power just means that I've got more capability of using it. So I'm not too fussed about producing more. Yeah, they might limit what I can do. I look around and think nobody else has got solar panels. There's no one else putting anything out to the grid locally around at all. And I'm not on the end of a line, etc. I'm not on a housing estate where I'm likely to be restricted with some new installation. So I'm hoping that I can get 10, 12 kilowatts. That's what I would hope for. I don't know if I'll get more than that, but because of course you have to declare when you have a battery as well, don't you? Because that's got an export capability. So at the moment I've got a battery that can export at 2.4 kilowatts, or is it 2.8 kilowatts? I can't remember exactly what it can export at, plus the solar panels. So at the moment I've got an export capability of 8 point something kilowatts. So they have to cater for the absolute theoretical max. I think that's one of the downsides about a wind turbine as well, because if I buy a 2 kilowatt wind turbine with an inverter that could produce the 2 kilowatts, then the DNO will take that into account as how much you could be exporting to the grid. Whereas the reality is that will be ticking over and spinning most of the day, producing 100 to 300 watts. So you're getting very little power from it in an instantaneous moment, but in your DNO allowance. Well, I don't know what this is going like. It keeps reconnecting, so I don't know how bad this connection is. See if I've missed any other messages. I'm just scrolling through. Yeah, the DNO will limit the install. I'm sure they will, but that's according to what your house and the connection. Now they are just being obvious. Yeah, thanks, Chris. It does keep dropping out. I can just see disconnecting, and then it says I'm back live again instantly. I think that's Wi-Fi. I think I'm a little bit too far away from the house. I would hope the DNO is very factual and that they must be keen to get energy onto the grid because it's free for them. So it's got to be good. Anyone from India? Is that Manoj? You're from India? Good gracious. It's night here. Oh my god. Try 4G. Oh, this location, I was lucky to get 2G. So there's no way I can swap to phone on 4G. It will just cut out. So that's definitely bad. Right. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there. Unless anyone's got any burning questions that I can answer for you on what's going on. I just thought this was a useful time for an update while I'm sat in the car trying to work out my contact home information on the car, but they're worried about their equipment. Yeah, it's like my house, Chris. Yeah, it's got 100 amp capability. So when Octopus Agile has been at negative rates, I've drawn from the grid an incredible amount. Was it 17 kilowatts I had going at one go? So if I can draw 17 kilowatts in, I can push 17 kilowatts out. That shouldn't be a big deal, should it? Especially when it's going to release the burden for them. Nobody else has got solar panels. I'm sure if every neighbour here put 3 kilowatts on the roof, maybe that's what they do as well. Maybe they're leaving some capacity for others to have solar panels, to not take it all. See questions you missed earlier. Did I? Where? And don't want to give all the capacity to one person. Yeah, it's just what I was saying, Chris. Maybe that's the case. Maybe they are catering for allowing for other houses to have it, which again might work well for me because I don't have many neighbours here. Scrolling through. 25 years when the fit ends. Yep. Large carport on your drive covered in solar panels. Yeah. Martin, yes. I really do like the idea of that. If I get this carport or cart shed installed on the driveway, I could choose where I face the panels. So it might be a very good thing for me to do, to face the roof with an apex and face one east and one west rather than south. So I get a lot more early sun and the late afternoon sun rather than have a single roof and have them all facing south. So yeah, building something and taking into account what solar panels you can put on it, it does intrigue me and make it right. I'll tell you what, yeah, especially now they're working from home, etc. It really makes a lot of sense to power your own home and get your costs reduced that way. So yeah, it would be fantastic to have neighbours with the solar panels as well. But if it restricts what I can have from the DNO, I hope they don't. Just one final look through to see if I've missed anything else. See questions you've missed. What else did I miss? Hi, the one. Sorry, I saw your message earlier. Hi all, hit like, it's only fair. Yeah, thank you very much. Do click like on the videos. It's very, very kind. Chris, you are losing £75 of deemed export. Yeah, I think it'd be similar for me, but 2.6 megawatts, I think that would repay for it. And I can't do the mental maths while I'm online because I'll embarrass myself about getting it right or wrong with a decimal place. Yeah, 100. Oh, Martin's already done it for me. 143 last year on export. No, because I don't get paid. Oh, sorry. Yes, I do, don't I? Because I get the presumed. It's presumed on generation, but it's only on the 3.6, Martin. So that 2.6 megawatts, that was what I exported from my entire system on 6.3 kilowatts, not what I was deemed to have exported, which is only half of what I generated. I still think it's about 2 megawatts. I think what did I generate last year? I generated on my fit array 4.1 megawatts. So they would have deemed export on just over 2 megawatts. Yeah, I'm also looking at heat batteries from Sunamp, and I can't work out how they charge at the moment. So heat batteries is another option for me if they're economical. I like the idea that the thermal insulation on them is so good. I can save some kilowatts by putting a heat battery in instead of a hot water tank, because changing the air source heat pump, I'm told that I'll have to change my hot water tank because the one I've got's not compatible with an air source heat pump. But if I went for a heat battery instead of a hot water tank, then I would be putting energy into the hot water at a COP rate of at least 3 to 1. So that should give me that sounds really, really good. I'm looking at that as an option, but I want to understand more about heating it up, because heating hot water in a tank, the temperature just goes up gradually. But heating Sunamp batteries, because they've got so little water in them, and I guess they're heating the water more instantaneously as you're drawing it, I don't know whether that heating is heating temperature on an increased basis or whether you're heating individual gel packs and refreshing them at a gel pack granular level. So I'm not sure how that works with solar. I want to understand more about the granular level of charging these heat batteries and how they actually then deliver the hot water. What I don't want to find is with a you have to empty all of your hot water capacity before you can recharge it. I'm not sure about the granular level of recharging. And also, we're a hard water area here. I want to understand the difference between a hot water tank versus a heat battery, and how that might affect being in a hard water area, and whether we have lime scale issues. So much research to do for all of these things. It's good to share this stuff online. It's not exactly what I plan to do today, but it is good to share, because you often find that people have already done these things or got the answers to them. So I'm very, very grateful for all your comments and thoughts about it. Sun are expensive though, aren't they? But if I have to replace a hot water tank, that's not cheap either. So I do wonder with a heat battery. And another thought I'll share is, at the moment, a hot water cylinder is, I think, 180 or 200 litres of hot water. But in theory, you only need the capacity of what, a bath full, because if I empty the hot water completely, then I can just recharge it. So maybe I could get away with the capacity of just, I don't know, 70 litres, something like that, 70 or 100 litres capacity of, it's not the water tank, but it's the amount of hot water heat that it can provide. So I do wonder whether a smaller one will actually work for us, because with the eddy and the solar, most of the time we're just reheating continuously during the day. So you're doing the washing up, and then by the time you're finished, it's heated the hot water again. So apart from that large running a bath and emptying a heat battery, it would soon be topped back up again. But I notice now, if you fill the bath now completely, hot water's down anyway. So it does make me think whether I can be more economical with a heat battery. No, I don't think it has a tank either. I'm told it has 7 litres of water in it. So yeah, it is more like a combi boiler. It heats it immediately. So there's a buffer of those 7 kilowatts. And I think I spoke to Jonathan Porterfield a little while ago, and he was telling me there's 7 litres that are reheating during the day on solar as well. So it's keeping it all up to temperature. So fascinating stuff to find all the detail. I have no idea what I'll be going with and when. It's a good job I don't have loads and loads of money in the bank account now, because I'd just be spending it. I love this stuff. It does make me laugh when people say you have to cost justify these in the future. This stuff is really well worth spending the money on, in my opinion. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Really enjoyed, well, talking to you and listening to your messages. It's a shame these aren't more interactive, aren't they, as a live Zoom session. I wonder if I ought to do that instead one day. Hybrid hot water tank with a heat pump. Hybrid hot water tank with a heat pump. Well, the heat pump heating the hot water in a hot water tank is, I think, the standard configuration for a heat pump. And then hybrid, you mean with an immersion heater as well, so powered by the eddy as well. That is possible. I'm told that I can do that. I'm also looking at all sorts of options, having the output of the eddy going into an underfloor heating capability, or another radiator to boost the air source heat pump. But there's no point in doing that if it's going to affect the capability of how it actually works. So it's good to look into all these options, but how they integrate and how they work and how the house balances is the key to it all. Right, anyway, I think I've covered everything that's in. I think I've seen everyone's messages now. I have scrolled through. If I've missed any, I apologize, and maybe I'll do this again, since I do struggle sometimes in getting to grips with doing all the editing of videos. So I guess sometimes it's good just to go online and chat. Thanks for watching, everyone. And yeah, don't forget to click like, and if you haven't already subscribed, go and subscribe to the channel. You know you want to. Right, anyway, thank you so much. Take care. See you again soon. Bye for now.